What are the most unreliable new vehicles that won't even last 60,000 miles? That's what we're going to find out. Welcome to Car Corner, where we help you, the consumer, master the process of car buying and car ownership. For this video, I'm going to share 10 of the most unreliable new vehicles that you can buy. That will give you a hard time making it to even 60,000 miles or 100,000 kilometers. Now, just to be clear, any vehicle can last a really long time. It's just a matter of how many warranty headaches and repair issues it's going to cost you to get there. And in the case of these vehicles, the answer is probably a lot. So before getting into it, remember, if you enjoy and get value out of this video, make sure to subscribe and turn notifications. So let's start off with the first vehicle on the list, which is the Nissan Rogue. The Rogue is a practical and well-designed SUV, but it does seem to have some serious drivetrain concerns that put its long-term reliability into question. It uses a turbocharged 3-cylinder engine with very complicated and unique variable compression technology. Now, complexity with an engine doesn't always automatically mean major reliability issues, but in this case, it sure does. This engine design is prone to internal bearing and link damage, which leads to knocking noises, loss of power, and could cause the entire engine to seize and fail. NHTSA is currently investigating this issue, which affects hundreds of thousands of vehicles that were manufactured over the last few years. Now, even if one manages to dodge these major engine issues, another major potential reliability concern with the Rogue that one could face that has been a problem in the past is potential CVT failure. Nissan is famous for its very weak Jatco brand continuously variable transmissions, which are prone to failing prematurely and are generally not rebuildable, and they cost a fortune to replace when a new unit is required. So whether it's potential engine concerns or long-term transmission issues, the Nissan Rogue is just not the best vehicle to own for long-term ownership. And this is the type of SUV that's best just to lease for a few years and then just return it and give it back. And the next vehicle that we have in the number 9 spot is the Infiniti QX50. The QX50 actually shares the exact same basic concerns that the Nissan Rogue has. The turbocharged 2-liter 4-cylinder engine uses the exact same variable compression technology as the Nissan Rogue's 3-cylinder engine, and you also have the same continuously variable transmission. So long-term engine and transmission problems are a concern, making this not a very good choice for long-term ownership. It's also worth mentioning that you can find this exact same drivetrain in the Nissan Altima in the US, so same concerns for that model as well. And now let's move on to a different brand, and in the number 8 spot, we have the Ford Bronco Sport. Ford's history of problems with their EcoBoost engines are well documented, and one version from their current engine family experiencing much of the same is the 1.5-liter 3-cylinder EcoBoost engine that's used in the Bronco Sport, and also the Ford Escape. This engine has been recalled for cracking fuel injectors, which could potentially cause an engine fire. It has overheating problems, potential turbo failure, cooling system issues including leaks, and head gasket failure as well. I've never been a fan of small 3-cylinder engines such as this one or the one that's in the Nissan Rogue. They are generally under a lot of stress, and they tend to be extremely complicated, which can lead to more reliability concerns down the road. Ford has been replacing a ton of these engines under warranty, so it's not looking good for those who plan to buy one of these for the long haul, so best just to stay away. And the next vehicle that's in the number 7 spot that's unlikely to reach 60,000 miles or 100,000 kilometers is the Chrysler Pacifica plug-in hybrid. Now, the Pacifica is a practical and nicely designed minivan, but like many Stellantis products, it has been plagued with reliability issues that bring into question its longevity. The hybrid version is especially problematic. It has been recalled numerous times for different hybrid system problems, some issues that could potentially lead to a fire, issues with the engine shutting down, and various electronic problems. Chrysler technicians are often left scratching their head, unsure how to repair these issues, and it's worth mentioning that it was ranked as the least reliable vehicle that one could possibly buy in the latest Consumer Reports reliability study. And we have more Stellantis vehicles that are coming in the number 6 spot, which are the Jeep Grand Cherokee 4xe and the Wrangler 4xe. Jeep's 4xe models, which are the plug-in hybrid versions, have had several major recalls, including one where the engine could shut down while driving, and multiple hybrid battery issues, which could potentially lead to the vehicle catching on fire. In addition to many recalls, there have also been countless reports of drivetrain problems, various electronic problems, and performance issues. The quality of parts on these vehicles seems to be very low, and many technicians have issues diagnosing and repairing the hybrid-related issues. Many owners have also reported really poor hybrid efficiency, especially in cold weather, so all of these major reliability concerns and the price premium that you pay for the hybrid in the first place could really all be for nothing. Bottom line, these vehicles have way too many issues to have any kind of faith in them lasting for the long haul, so the best bet is just to stay away, or at best, only lease one for 2 to 3 years. And now moving on to the vehicles, in the number 5 spot we have full-size pickup trucks, which are the Chevrolet Silverado and the GMC Sierra. Now it is a bit upsetting to include these ones on the list because GM does make very nice full-size trucks and also full-sized SUVs, and historically they have been quite durable and long-lasting. But ever since GM introduced their cylinder deactivation technology around 15 years ago or so, their reliability has just gone downhill to the point where issues are way too common. The cylinder deactivation technology that's used in the Ecotec 3, 5.3, and 6.2 liter V8 engines, which is designed to save fuel, causes the lifters in the engine to collapse or get stuck in place. This is usually accompanied by engine noise, knocking, ticking, or complete engine shutdown, which means the engine is probably toast. The problem is so bad that there has been major class action lawsuits against General Motors, not just for these engines that are used in the Silverado and Sierra, but also the full-size trucks, like the Tahoe, the Suburban, the Yukon, and the Escalade. Thankfully, most of these engines are being replaced under warranty, but given how common these problems can be, and at such low mileage on top of that, who really knows what the long-term reliability is going to be like beyond that point? Not to mention other reported reliability issues with these vehicles, including shuddering or shifting problems, or failures with the 10-speed automatic transmissions. Now admittedly, the other full-size trucks from both Ram and Ford have their own alarming issues, including EcoBoost engine issues, transmission problems, and also lifter issues with the Hemi engines on the Ram 1500s. All of these brands really need to get their act together when it comes to reliability, but the issues on the GM vehicles have just been so high that they really do stand apart. And now moving on to the vehicle that's in the number 4 spot, which I don't think is going to be a surprise to anybody, and that is the Land Rover Range Rover. Reliability issues with Range Rovers are very well documented, and the list of potential problems is quite long with these vehicles. They are known for anything from engine problems, transmission issues, air suspension failure, and endless electronic issues. The potential headaches are just ongoing, and for some owners, it is rare to have an extended period where everything is working perfectly. Owning one of these vehicles past the warranty period can be a major financial burden and is generally a bad idea, so don't bother unless you have extremely high tolerance for issues and also very deep pockets. And the same is also true of the vehicle in the number 3 spot, and that is the Jaguar F-Pace. As with Land Rover, the list of potential problems with these vehicles is quite long, but can include everything from severe engine issues, oil and coolant leaks, transmission issues, fuel system problems, and countless electronic issues. Needless to say, these can be a nightmare to own and not worth considering past the warranty period. Unfortunately, many European brand luxury vehicles, whether they are from BMW, Mercedes, Audi, or a few others, can have these concerns. The reliability issues and the repair costs that come with them becomes very questionable once the warranty is up, but Jaguar and Land Rover just seem to take this to a completely different level. But not all European vehicles with reliability issues come from luxury brands. Volkswagen falls into this category as well, and one vehicle that they make that's unlikely to reach high mileage is the Volkswagen TUS. The The first issue with the TUS is the drivetrain Volkswagen chose to use, which is a small displacement 1.5-liter turbocharged engine, which has a number of reported issues, including leaks, fuel system problems, and even sometimes total engine failure. The all-wheel drive versions also use a very complicated dual-clutch automated manual transmission, which can also be troublesome. In addition to jerky shifting, which these transmissions are known for, it can fail prematurely, and when it does, it's going to cost an absolute fortune to repair or replace. Electrical issues are also a known problem for Volkswagen, and the repair costs past the warranty can be extremely high. So this is another vehicle that's best to lease at the absolute most. And that brings us to the number one vehicle or vehicles on this list. And those vehicles are any Hyundai or Kia with the 2-liter 4-cylinder engine. The reliability issues with various Hyundai and Kia models that use the Theta engine family over the last decade has been very well documented at this point. Virtually every model made from 2011 onward with the 2-liter or 2.4-liter direct injection engines are at risk for engine failure. And the 2-liter engine can still be found today in brand new models, including the Hyundai Kona, the Kia Seltos and the Soul, the Kia Forte, and the Hyundai Elantra. In total, over the past decade, Hyundai and Kia have recalled around 10 million vehicles with these engines, over 1 million of which are believed to be defective in some way, prone to oil consumption, ticking or knocking, bearing or rod failure, piston ring failure, which could result in complete engine failure or even the engine catching on fire. Kia and Hyundai have been forced to pay enormous fines for these issues, and they've also faced major class action lawsuits. And even after over a decade of this, there's still no certainty as to whether these problems have fully been solved on the brand new vehicles. Now, if you've owned any of the vehicles on this list and have been happy with it, that's great. But just know that you are probably more the exception than the norm. Of course, any vehicle can be problem-free or have a lot of issues. It's just that the vehicles that are on this list have shown a lot more evidence and a track record of being a lot more problematic than the average vehicle. So if you want to avoid a lot of headaches, avoiding buying one of these vehicles is probably the safest thing to do. So let me know what you thought of this video, and if you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. You can also check out my other videos by clicking these links over here. Make sure to follow me on Instagram, and if you need additional car buying advice, recommendations, or help with getting a great deal on your next new car purchase, make sure to visit carhelpcan.com. Thanks so much for watching, and see you next time.